All right, everyone, War 10 here. First things first, bans. We've got Quake, S99, and Ghost bans. So no Apocalypse ban here. Keeping that in mind while we look at defense. All right, so Boss Island, Doom Boss here. You've got Omega Sentinel, you've got Yellow Jacket, and you've got Blade. Mangog, you've got Mr. Negative and Magic. Chavez, not too big of a deal there. You can use Archangel, you could use Kitty Pryde, you can use Tigra. Cersei there, Rintra, Tigra's been working, Archangel, Horseman working. Omega Sentinel would just go strictly Nebula just to shut down the robotic. Mojo, you can use Archangel, you could probably even get away with Mr. Negative, although it could get interesting. Then Safeguard King Groot, you've got Tigra, you've got Hood. I think even Guillotine could do it, OG Guillotine, since she's got the ruptures. Would have to be high sig. Section 2, Path 1, nothing stands out. Path 2, nothing stands out, especially with Apocalypse available. Path 3, Cosmic Ghost Rider, pretty easy. And then Super Scroll, again, nothing stands out. You can do it with Cosmic Ghost Rider, Tigra, anyone. He's not really benefiting from the global. 4 through 6 going in, you've got Thing, you can use Shang-Chi and She-Hulk. Path 4, nothing new. Path 5, again, nothing new. And Path 6, nothing new, especially with Apocalypse not banned. And then Killmonger there, probably go with Kitty as your number 1. Doom can even work, maybe even Apocalypse. 7 through 9, Void going in, you've got Elsa, you've got Shang-Chi. You can even get away with Kingpin, spamming special 1s. Path 7, nothing special or new. Path 8, nothing new. Path 9, Cosmic Ghost Rider, and nothing new. And then Guardian, a duped Cosmic Ghost Rider is probably your best option. You can use Doom, can probably even use Magneto with the heal block synergy. Actually take out Doom because of the global. So let's go Magneto and Cosmic Ghost Rider. Backtracking a little, since Apocalypse on node 24 EMP is visible, I would go Nebula. You now have an option with Hulkling and just hitting into block and just being mindful of your blocked hits. Middle minis, Penny Parker, I would just go ahead and go with Mr. Negative. You can probably get away with Ant-Man now, but you wouldn't be relying on poison. You would be relying on sting damage. And then Mordo, you got Archangel, you probably got Anti-Venom. You have Quicksilver if you've got one available. Section 1, Path 1, nothing special. Path 2, nothing special. And Path 3, none of those actually gain armor ups, so anything can take those. And then Nimrod, I would go strictly Nebula, easiest counter, doesn't have to worry about much at all. Okay, and then 4 through 6, Argus, Kingpin, Shang-Chi, or Doom, so nothing special. Path 5, nothing special. Path 6, nothing special. Long shot, you can get away with Kitty Pryde. I know some that risk Doom, you can even use Omega Red. 7 through 9, Path 7 there, you can risk Apocalypse without Cable, or you can send Cable. Path 8, nothing special. And Path 9, although there's nothing special, Wong has been a pain without many options that are buff immune due to his blue spell and going unstoppable. So I would actually recommend there that if you have an Ant-Man ranked, to go ahead and use him. And then Magneto there, again, nothing special. You can use Kingpin there without any problems. So that concludes looking at the map. Let's take a look at War Attack. All right, so War 10 is against Palo. We didn't have Quake banned, but we decided to push for this war. We're pushing the last 2 as well. This war, I am taking in Apocalypse, Shang-Chi, and Mr. Negative. I have Path 7 in Section 1 and Path 6 in Section 2, a middle mini-boss, and a mini-boss on Boss Island. Yes, Apocalypse without the Cable synergy, so we have a couple fights that I thought would be interesting, and to be honest, they are interesting. So let's go ahead and take a look at them. So Human Torch here on the first node for Path 7. Apocalypse is going in here. I've got Deep Wounds maxed, and I do not have half suicides on for this fight because I was a little concerned with the number of special attacks I'd probably have to throw to nuke this down. But we are max boosted, and I do decide to do a special mutant power boost, not the power back. I will not be throwing special 2 at all or that much this fight to give you some insight. Since he does not have all 4 persistent charges, it means that I cannot place both debuffs with special attacks, so I have to come back to a special attack and reuse it to get both up. So I figured I was going to fill out the fight with special 1 and what it was like, or where it was at when I got 2 special 1s off before going to special 2. So here, I was aggressively pushing him to special 1 while aggressively pushing myself to special 1. Decide to drop special 1 off a medium that gives us the poison. From here on, I am parry heavy bait special attacks. Apocalypse is a sick and tired champ, so we are going to get heal blocks in between these bleeds, the global debuff, the special 1 debuff. So he's going to be heal blocked the entire fight. And you can see here, I haven't even gotten to my second special 1, and he's flirting with the 50% mark. Decided not to throw the special 1 there in the middle of my heavy because I was not familiar with what debuff would place. I wanted to end a combo with a light to get the weakness placed. So now we have 2, and you can tell here there's no point in going to special 2, so that's why I made that comment earlier. We are just going to end up finishing this fight with another special 1. We've got our incinerate immunity, so blocking special attacks on this node is not a problem, and the heavy attack creates enough space and does enough damage with max deep wounds that the cable synergy wasn't needed as long as we're boosting properly. So Apocalypse fine. This next one, again, still somewhat concerning due to the fact that it has Vivified, but another mastery that I maxed out for this war was Petrify, so that's going to help us. My game plan with Kingpin was a little bit different. I decided I was going to parry heavy this entire fight and do almost nothing else unless I was retaliating a special 1, in which case I'd do 2 to 3 combos just to help with spacing. I figured he can't shrug the bleeds. I just want him to melt away, or pretty much dot away. And because of the aggressive power gain from the Vivified, I just didn't want to get cornered trying to either bait special 1s or just him not throwing a special attack. So he was friendly with that first one. I believe the second one is the only other time, or is the only time, that he's actually quite stubborn about throwing a special attack. Decide to hit him once there with how much power he has. I wanted to land this special 1. Decide to do it off this medium here, which I actually do forget which attack I used. So the next special 1, I'm not going to end with a light to throw it. I'm actually going to end with a medium, because obviously in the heat of the moment, I could not remember which debuff went with which attack. So still having here, he's still being aggressive with throwing a special 1. I think it's because, I actually threw a light. We got them both, and down he went. So still no cable synergy. We were up to 2 persistent charges there, so 2 prowess wasn't a problem for Apocalypse. So it was quite a surprise, and it's going to come in handy in future wars, maybe not this season or next. Anyway, moving on, Penny Parker here, taking it with Mr. Negative. So I've reviewed a couple fights, felt like I had the rhythm. There was one small detail that I was not prepared for in my attempt today, and that was the on activation special 1 when she has 11 plus spider sense charges, her putting the power burn on you and you losing 75% of a bar of power. So here, decided to parry and attack twice. Now I'm going to aggressively hit into block while dexing to get special attacks out, or to just get her to block. And in that process, I should build up enough light energy that when her shield is down, I can bank the first set of light energy. But you can see here I'm having issues actually triggering dexterity, so it's keeping me kind of low. So I decided to delay my dex just a little bit. We got one there, but really that's not enough. So it's going to lead to me parrying here. And I'm going to evade counter here. Now I'm going to try and bait out this special 1. And with her spider sense charges, and she's being stubborn, so I already knew that this window with the shield down, I wasn't going to be throwing special 2. So she's at 9. I guess what should have happened, because when I get a bar of power, she's going to go to 10. What should have happened is that this special 1 should not have happened before her shield was down. So I should have tried to prevent giving her too much power earlier on, because now she's over the 11 mark. which means that once I get her shield down and aggressively push to get power and dark energy, or so maybe here I shouldn't have chained heavies. Now at the end of this, and it says on activation, but on the end, there's that power burn. Now the problem that this causes is that I converted light to dark. I'm over the 10, they're going to expire. I lost power and I can't throw a special 2 in this window with the shield down. And she hasn't lost any charges because I'm not taking any auto blocked hits. So now I have to aggressively build light energy without building power in order to throw a big special 2 here. And you see there's the power burn again because she's over that 11 mark and she threw a special 1. So I'm a little panicked, not because I think I'd die. It's because of if you're watching the timer above, and 2 intercepts there lead to power burn. If you're watching the timer above, that took a lot to set up and I have to do the entire thing again. Yeah, so here we go, building the first set of charges during this window, making sure not to get hit with this special 2. Good job so far. While this shield is down, we're gonna build some charges. Now we're gonna evade counter before that shield comes back up. Hit so that we can get her back in the corner. She's over that, or she just went over that 11 mark. So it wasn't on activation she was over 11. The activated special 1 put her over 11. So here, I need to wait for that 1 charge to fall before I get the shield down or before I give her a special 1. And before I get a second bar of power, because that's gonna give her another spider sense charge. And then if she throws that special 1, I'm kind of screwed and I end up getting that power burn. So we're good right here. Throwing that special is fine. She was under 11 when she threw it. I can evade counter when I get that shield down. So there it is. Evade counter, going to attack, throw the special 2. And even though it took a long time, we saved it. So still a very safe fight, but man, when you realize you have to redo the entire tactic, it definitely puts some pressure on you. Moved on. Thing here on 25 Footloose with Tiger out of the game for her neutralize as an option for this node. Thing being here and Quake being banned is somewhat of an issue. I know She-Hulk can do it, but it requires a lot of good spacing / timing. Shang-Chi can do it really easily. The problem with Shang-Chi is that he's constantly triggering the protection. So you're gonna see it in this fight. I'm going to focus strictly on keeping slow up, strictly. If the AI is passive, that's really the only time I'm going to throw the stun wushu and then heavy counter to reset so that I can get a slow back up. There are a couple times where I'm just feeling it out and it just works for me to intercept or parry and just go right into the stun wushu and then heavy reset. But the main priority for this node is to keep a slow up at all times, which Shang-Chi can do very easily, especially in this matchup. So again, the only thing that takes this fight forever is the protection. You're gonna see me throw a special 2 once. I'm kind of judging the damage there to see if it's worth it. And I think all in all, it did 2% after healing because he's healing constantly from willpower. Which is unfortunate, and yes, the longer the fight goes, the more damage I do there, so the 20% that gets through is bigger and bigger and bigger. But I decide for the second special attack to throw, I'm going to throw a special 3 and see if I can easily get it while protection is down. And in my opinion, this fight, I actually got the perfect situation to test. Protection triggers right when I get special 3. So I kind of judge and see the amount of space I have and time to let protection fall off without touching him and then throw the special 3. And that actually does a considerable amount of damage, at least compared to the special 2. The only thing I would say with special 3 is that with this node, you're going to want to throw your special 3 after you heavy. Don't do any of your wushu, since the special 3 does not reset your wushu. So here we go, protection is up. There's the special attack. I'm waiting out. I'm not throwing a wushu. I want to be able to come out of this special 3 and still place a slow before I have to heavy reset. I would hate to have to parry heavy in case I gave him too much power, in case he has to throw some special attacks. So there's a slow. We've got a new, fresh, long-lasting slow. We stun through block and we heavy counter. So That special 3, I believe, did about 10 to 12%. So that would probably be the best idea when taking this node with Shang-Chi. Don't throw the special 2, throw the special 3 with the protection down. And it's also kind of a safety net. It gets you out of the corner if you're that close to your own wall. And then here, there's not much health left for me to justify waiting till special 3. So once I get the special 2 out, I go in with a slow, and then I throw the special 2, and he's KO'd, but the last hit did 62,000. So perfect time to bypass protection, Assassin. Good job. So that was the end of Shang-Chi's war. It was his only fight. Path 6 here. Now, I feel a little more confident here. Apocalypse has some charges, so I decide to go with the normal Apocalypse play. However, I don't change masteries because I don't want to change them back later. I feel like Apocalypse can knock out both of these path fights without the bleed suicide, so we keep it off. Here, I'm going through the same tactic that I've ever done with any Apocalypse fight in the past, and that's PS1, build the special 2, drop the special 2, block, get to the second special 2, throw it, block, and if it's not over by then, throw another special 1 or special 2. The thing with Knull here is that when I get him close to a bar of power, and you see I dodged back there without pushing him to special 1, it's so that I don't have to deal with him throwing special 1 before I throw special 2. And luckily this pushes him to special 2, so we don't have to worry about the special 1. But with Knull, if I'm in a scenario where I'm not ready to throw a special attack and he has a special 1, which is actually going to be the scenario out of this special 2, I just hold block beta heavy so that he's not enticed to throw a special attack, and I would end combos sooner so that I can enter blocks sooner so that I can prevent him from throwing that special 1. So I thought that special 1 would finish him. It didn't. We reparry from block and knock him out the second. So now we are at a fully ramped Apocalypse. And I'm a little too overconfident. Maw here, I knew with Mystic Dispersion and the node where I take blocked hits from special attacks, I believe it's prowess build-up unblockable. I knew with that it could get tricky, so I needed it over fast. So we get a lucky parry here, which allows us to knock him down and make him lose focus. We're letting the disorient kind of build up so that we get the endurance or the immunity from it. And there it is. And now what kind of frazzles me is that I'm not in range to heavy attack. And I admit I should have practiced that more. It probably involves a light attack then heavy when I see that he's going to heavy. And the reason that's a problem, I actually threw this when Falter was about to come up. Luckily, concussion prevented it. So we got lucky here, but I actually do that one more time like an idiot. What I should have remembered and what I forgot about in the middle of this fight due to the fact that my heavy was out of range was that since I am now charged, and there's another heavy that I thought I could reach, now that I'm charged, I can hit into his block to stun him and knock him down if I need to. And we get lucky here that last hit actually knocks him down. It would have been pulverized. So here I kind of clean it up a little bit. We already threw a special attack, a second special attack into miss and got punished for it, but luckily got the hit. So now I'm being very mindful of where the Falter's coming. We got a reparry in there on a light, so we were able to knock him down and decide to throw the special 1 because he's got enough debuffs on him to knock him out. So very, very, very sloppy and lucky Maw fight, but we got the job done. That was the end of Apocalypse's war. We actually toss off Horseman for someone who's using Archangel on Mojo, and now it is time for the rank 4 Mangog here with Mr. Negative. Now, we have the Mr. Fantastic pre-fights here. I had a game plan in mind. I was hoping that when I got to the special 2 that we'd have those debuffs up for the special 2, and that way it would help our dot damage a lot. But Mangog played a different game. So it was parry 3 times on the third, throw the heavy, judge power, do another parry, evade counter, bank this, combo, and he should throw a special 1 here, or there should be a special 1 in here somewhere, and he's just not throwing it. So I decide to go into the 3 parries, a heavy, but we do that one there, realizing we need to bait out the special 1. He won't throw it. He's getting close to special 2. I decide, hey, let's just bait it out anyways. He still won't throw it. And against the wall, I realize he's not going to, so I evade counter into special 2. The problem there is that I had a dexterity buff, and that gave him a ton of power, almost pushed him to special 3. We also lost the Mr. Fantastic debuffs. because he wouldn't throw a special attack and I did not throw a heavy. I probably should have just thrown a heavy in that chain of parries. But luckily, as you can see, it got him down to 4% without it. And I think one key thing here that I didn't realize is that I had Petrify maxed, whereas I haven't in the past. But anyways, that was the end of my war. So our battle group beat out theirs 7-1. So we had a good war for our battle group. And then we ended up winning this war 17-8. So a little high for what we'd like, but two more wars in the season. Need to bring that number down. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit subscribe and hit like, and I will catch you at the next war.